Sunday afternoon, Brian Baldinger, yours truly and I will be calling the Browns, yours truly and I. That made no sense. That was redundant. You and me on
we will be at the link together, Andrew.
We will be there in Philadelphia for the Eagles and the Browns. Eagles coming off their bye, 2-2. All the talk yesterday about the bye week conversations between Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Are they friends? Do they like each other? On the same page? Why was Devin White released? I mean, that's the drama in Philly. But they're off a bye and they're getting healthy with both wideouts expected back and Lane Johnson on the right side of the line as well. The Browns, on the other side of things, are reeling. They are 1-4. There are little flashes of last year's team, but not enough of them, and the offense can't get anything going yet to have a 300-yard game collectively this season. They're the only team in the NFL that is yet to have a 300-yard game. You're doing the game on national radio for Compass. I'm doing the game from the Browns booth on the Browns radio network. When you look at the Browns offense, Baldy, I'll ask you the same thing we just did with the Jets. How do you make that offense work?
Well, I mean, look, this offense is built around running the football. And, obviously Nick isn't ready to go yet. They obviously, losing Wyatt Teller, Ethan Pochik, like that, those are really good players. I thought over the last 4 years, especially with Bill Callahan as the offensive line coach, I thought Bitonio, Pochik, and Teller were as good as anybody in this business. At just, they had rotating tackles, but interiorly, whoever was running the ball, Kareem Hunt, Nick, whoever, like they cut defenses up and chop defenses up as well as anybody. And that's just not happening right now. And so that's a big part of what made that offense successful, even when Flacco was there last year, was that interior. That's not there. And look, you look at the game tape from last week. I mean, you can only help your quarterback out so much. They're running crossers in the middle of the field against Washington last week. I mean, whether they're in man or zone, that's your read. That's where your eyes go. And Washington completely blew the coverage. And Jerry Jeudy's wide open, and he's waving at his quarterback, who isn't looking down the field, and he's reading the rush, and he sacks himself, and he gets hit hard. I don't know what he's looking at right now. I'm not, the people say, well, he's broken, he stinks. Okay, I just want to know from a quarterback standpoint what he's reading, what he's being told to do, what he's coached to do, what he's practiced to do, because it's just the passing game is non-existent right now. And you look at the stats tell you that it is, that Cleveland right now is 30th in offense and they're 32nd in passing average. So if you got to fix something, it helps that maybe Njoku's back and healthy, and he's a big part of what success they had last year. Like just basic routes right now. Get the ball in the hands of these guys, whether it's stick routes or stop routes or hitch routes. Like just get completions and put it in the hands of these guys to go do something right now.
And they're not running the ball in first and second down. They are consistently behind the sticks. Their thirds aren't 3rd and 2s. They're 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9. Yet there have been, I'll go back to the Raider game, Baldy, opening drive of that game, 15 plays, 9.5 minutes off the clock. It was a thing of beauty. We have seen it operate, and we saw it operate in Jacksonville as well when they got back to basics, opened in jumbo sets, and ran the ball. And Deshaun opened well in that as well. You said in years past they've been running the football. It's so much empty. It's shotgun on first down. It's, hey, I get it. This is what operated in Houston well. You want him to see the field. But, the plays on which it's blocked well, he's not necessarily seeing it and getting the ball out. The plays on which, there are guys open. It just, nothing has seemed to click. Everything. In other words, guys open, protection, he sees it. Those plays where all three things happen, they're just not enough of them.
Well, I mean, look, he's averaging less than 5 yards an attempt right now, Andrew. Like, that's historically bad. All that tells you is you're not getting explosive plays down the field. The plays they got to Amari last year, they're not there.
And the one that they did get, the 82-yarder in Vegas, was called back on a suspect hold.
Suspect. But even at the end of that game, they got a chance to win the game, Andrew. Yep. Like, you're down 20-16. You can't take a sack there on the final play. You just can't. You got to do something. I mean, that's part of why he was signed to this lucrative contract.
But at the same time, I give Christian Wilkins, sorry to cut you off, I give on that 4th and 3 in Vegas, Christian Wilkins beat a rookie in Zach Sinner at right guard, and he gets paid $100 million, and right off the snap, he won. I give him credit. He blew that play up. you know?
Yeah, he did. He did. But, I mean, Adam Butler blew plays up. I
Yeah.
mean, guys that I'm sure you had to go back, Andrew, when you're calling that action, like who some of these guys are, who's Snowden, and some of these guys that were making plays for him. I mean, obviously, there was no Max Crosby that game, but, I mean, you had to go look and see that they played pretty possessed. But, you know, even on that last drive, though, you got to – I mean, there's a real good – even after the touchdown that's called back that, as you mentioned, was very questionable. You know, you still have a chance to win that game. And so last week got away from them. You know, you saw a quarterback on Washington that they were hoping Deshaun would play like. The one thing I'm interested this week, though, Andrew, is Jim Schwartz is coming back to Philly.
Yep.
And he won a Super Bowl here, and he takes a lot of pride in his defense. I don't think – this is just me talking. I haven't talked to Jim this week.
We got 90 seconds.
I don't think he thinks that Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback and reads defenses well. I'm interested to see how he attacks Jalen Hurts in this game. You know, whether he thinks Jalen's going to read the rush, bail too quickly. Obviously, the receivers are back, I think, AJ and Devontae. Like, that makes a big difference. And he likes to get the ball to his favorite target, AJ, down the field, like he did in this game in Brazil against Green Bay that basically won the game for him. So I'm interested to see, and he's been turning it over a lot. So I'm interested to see how Jim Schwartz attacks him, because Jim does have a nice ego, healthy ego. You know, his defense got lit up pretty good by Jaden last week in that run game.
Also very well dressed.
Yeah. So this is a good return for Jim Schwartz coming back to the Link.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.